Liverpool are signing Marc Guehi for £35 million. What is going on? Liverpool are absolutely dominating the transfer window. And I have to say, it might be one of the best transfer windows of any major club I've seen in the Premier League for 20 years. It is of the highest standard, the most ridiculous standard I've ever seen. 2 new fullbacks, the best left back in the Premier League last season, the best right back arguably in German football last season, who won a league title with Leverkusen. That never happens. You're talking about Isaac. That's about to happen, of course. The best German, young, prodigious talent for a generation in Wirtz. Then you're talking about Ekitike. Then you're talking about Leone. Now you're talking about Marc Guehi. What's going on? And by the way, Liverpool made a lot of money on players that they don't quite fancy, in the likes of Quansah, potentially Harvey Elliott as well. What is going on? Liverpool have had one of the best transfer windows you're ever going to see. It's the transfer window of a generation. It's the kind of transfer window that sets you up for the next 15 years, 10, 15 years. It could create a kind of dynasty at Liverpool of untold success. Mark Gahey could be the leader of Liverpool's back line for the next 10 years. He's the kind of signing that goes on not only to complement the likes of Virgil van Dijk, Konate, obviously he'll be staying this window despite links to Real Madrid, but he surpasses them because Virgil van Dijk could be out in the next couple of years. Konate could be going to Real Madrid in the next couple of years. Mark Gahey, he completely transforms that back line today, and he's a signing for tomorrow as well for £35 million, and you stop your rivals getting him. I think it's the best transfer of the window. Ekitike, a lot of money. We don't quite know how it's going to work. It's working well so far. Wirtz, Isaac, goes on and on. We don't know. But I can tell you now. I can guarantee it. This is my boozy guarantee in football. I only give it out once a season. Mark Gahey will be an untold success at Liverpool. He is a Liverpool footballer to the highest level. He is an Alan Hansen type leader at the back. There's no question about it. No question. We're going to break down how Mark Gahey fits in at Liverpool. And of course, talk about Liverpool's other transfer activity going on today. Massive. Make sure you subscribe, leave your comments down below. We have to talk about Crystal Palace because they've brought in Mark Gahey. He's a young guy, developed him into one of the best centre-backs in England, in Europe, for England as well, getting England to a Euros final last summer. He was a fundamental part of that alongside John Stones, who's one of the best centre-backs of a generation in his own right. Mark Gahey's at that level, in my honest opinion. He is absolutely outstanding, but Crystal Palace gave him a platform to do very, very well. And then you think he's this leader, played alongside Lacroix, was absolutely superb, ahead of Henderson. The calmness of that back line, the kind of maturity of a back line where Mark Gahey is very, very calm, very, very collected. He plays with a smile on his face. He looks like he's a very patient and kind of quiet, introverted person that wants to play for himself and represent himself very, very well. Big transfer activity throughout the summer, and he's not thrown his toys out the pram. I think he would have stayed at Crystal Palace and loved every second of it if this bid hadn't have come in from Liverpool. And you feel that he's got this kind of quiet leadership about him that Liverpool is signing for a very, very cheap price. We saw that at Crystal Palace. Let's be real. Crystal Palace went 1-0 up because of Eberechi Eze. I had a very similar kind of praise for Eberechi Eze, potentially Crystal Palace's best ever player. But ultimately, they scored that goal early. Erling Haaland, all these big strikers for Man City last season, Omar Mamouche in the FA Cup final. We're trying to get that equalising goal. We're trying to score goals. And Mark Gahey kept a clean sheet at the FA Cup final in Crystal Palace's biggest ever moment. He could also be considered Crystal Palace's most important player ever. That's how good he is. So Liverpool, and similar to Arsenal signing Eze, have signed 2 of Crystal Palace's best ever footballers for a very, very reasonable price. So that's what you have to say about Crystal Palace. He's been an absolute ever-present, hundreds of games at the highest level for Crystal Palace, and consistently for the last 3 or 4 years, he's been the best player outside the Big Six, arguably, or certainly the best centre-back outside the Big Six. Could have easily come into Newcastle United, could have easily gone into Manchester City, easily gone into Arsenal, in my honest opinion. And he's gone to Liverpool. I think he's an instant starter. He instantly makes Virgil van Dijk's life even easier. And by the way, Virgil van Dijk has been absolutely superb this season. Konate's been injured. Gahey, that transfer feels like it's heated up because of the Konate injury, of course, against Arsenal. But you feel that Van Dijk, he's very good at going early into a challenge, going high up. The fullbacks are going to expose the centre-backs this season. We can see it with Frimpong. We can see it with Kerkez. it doesn't matter anymore. Virgil van Dijk has still got a great amount of pace for someone in his early 30s. But Marc Guehi's kind of ability to sweep in behind in the back line. You have to say Konate was doing an unbelievable job against Gyökeres in the Arsenal game at Anfield. I think Marc Guehi's a touch better than Konate. I think he's a touch more physically reliable. Maybe not as tall or as physically imposing. Equally as good on the ball, in my honest opinion. I think he's a little bit quicker than Konate. Konate did a job on Gyökeres, completely bullied him at big points. Marc Guehi is very, very similar to that. Got a lot of recoveries in the Premier League last season. His statistics for kind of how he wins the ball back is very, very impressive. And you feel at Liverpool, this is the kind of platform where he isn't just considered a Premier League top quality centre-back. You feel he could go on to be one of the best centre-backs in world football. Seriously, another big Chelsea academy player that should really be playing at Chelsea at this level. And he's at Liverpool. And I think he's going to make a massive difference this season. I really, really do. I think Joe Gomez will be out the door. Of course, I don't know the ins and outs 100%. Maybe there's a world you keep Joe Gomez in the squad. Leone's come in as well. Looks absolutely superb. But you feel that Joe Gomez, if you can cash in on him, I think he's been an absolutely fundamental servant to Jurgen Klopp and Arne Slot last season. He's brought experience. He's brought positional utility. He can play anywhere across the back line. And Joe Gomez is a very, very good footballer. But you feel Marc Guehi is that kind of next step up. He's got at least 5, 6, 7 years in this Liverpool back line to make it his own. And you feel that maybe in big moments going into the business end of the season, Liverpool could play with 3 centre-backs. If they wanted to match up a PSG, if they wanted to do something different in Europe, they needed to, if injuries told them to, with the likes of Kerkez, Frimpong at left wing back, right wing back, suddenly Guehi, Konate, Van Dijk, you could see them all playing together. I don't think Liverpool need to do that, but Guehi and Konate's pace, very, very big, and it could allow Liverpool to play 3-4-3. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it could work in certain cup competitions for sure, 100%. We have to go back to the fact this is one of the generational transfer windows in Liverpool's history, in Premier League history. You're talking about the best centre-back outside the big 6. England's best centre-back, let's be real, except for John Stones. You're talking about Isaac for 125 mil, which seems cheap. Florian Wirtz hasn't hit the ground running. These are my opinions, but he's got a lot of quality ready to go, and he did perk up at the back end of the Arsenal game. The best fullback in German football, the best left-back in the Premier League last season. It's just outstanding. It really, really is. Liverpool have managed to dominate the Premier League, get maximum points, tough challenge away to Newcastle United. They got full points there. You think about Arsenal, bullied Arsenal at points, a 1-0 win, what winners do. And they haven't really kicked into gear. We haven't seen loads of Ekitike. We haven't seen loads of Salah so far this season. McAllister just coming back from injury. And now they're adding quality while they still can, while they're not even really out of first gear. It's very scary for the rest of the Premier League. And you have to say, Marc Guehi, I'm very gassed for him on some level because I think he is going to be absolutely superb. And I like the way he plays football. I like the guy. I think he's a great footballer, great leader. He's a classic kind of centre-back, a Rolls Royce of a centre-back for £35 million. It's absolutely outstanding. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe if you've made it this far. I'll see you very, very soon.